Um, so as we're moving along with my student advisory committee, one day I'm sitting there and a student says, yeah, Miss G, this kid asked me for a pencil today. And he was like, oh, this pencil's so gay. And I turned around and I said, why is the pencil gay? And he said, well, because like it doesn't have an eraser. He goes, well, then just say that, like use another word. Don't use the other word. And then all the kids chimed in and said, yeah, use another word. So then the kids said, I think we should do a campaign called Use Another Word. Because many times there's like racial things said in the classroom or like sexist things or homophobic things, and nobody interrupts. And they go, and we think the teachers are scared to interrupt. And I go, okay, so what would you like them to do? Like, how would you like them to handle that? And they said, well, we think that if we do this campaign, and don't get me wrong, like I'm going to have conversations with them if I know they're not interrupting. However, they said, we can make this very simple for folks. We simply want them to say, use another word. So they decided to do a campaign. They stood in the hallways again for a couple of weeks, and they took tallies about how many words that they heard in the hallways or in the classrooms, how many racist words, how many homophobic words, how many cuss words. And they gathered that data and they worked with the math department. And so they came back, and racism was one of the number one words, racial words that were used in the hallways. And so based on that, they decided to create and if you go into the QR code, you'll see the whole thing of what they did. There was a article written on Rethinking Schools, in Rethinking Schools that was written up. And so this campaign on Use Another Word ended up going district wide. All levels ended up creating their own Use Another Word campaign. They also use this campaign in other schools in other states. So California, Colorado, kids were on the news. We were able to talk to other states, whether it's radio shows or things like that. This again gave students so many skills that they were able to use. And actually, one of the students in the Use Another Word campaign is a teacher right now. The other one is a real estate agent. I mean, I stay in touch with a lot of my students, but anyway, I think this really like helped to increase their skills, and it really changed the culture of Springfield High School. They created a commitment statement that teachers and all staff and all people, if they sign the statement, they'll get a free button that says use another word. And all they're asking folks to do is when they hear an offensive term or any offensive language, that you simply say, please use another word. So they set up during the breaks and lunches, they set up tables. They had the statement, and kids started, coming up, and some of them made fun of it a little bit, like, oh, if I cuss, you're gonna, which was a great opportunity for the kids to say, well, this is more than about cussing. This is about language that's harming our peers. This is about language that's creating a hostile environment in our school, and we don't want our school to be a hostile place to be. We want all of our peers to feel cared for and loved here. And so the kids were like, oh, they didn't know what to say about that. So they signed it, they bought into it. And it really did transform the school. I mean, there's students now that they're married, it's just a trip. Like everybody just started intermingling and getting along, and so it's a very different place. So this ended up one of the kid that first brought it up, he sent me a link. This is about 4 years ago, and he said, Miss G, did you see our Use Another Word curriculum is being used in a university in South Africa? That's how far it went.